Welcome back, everybody. Big Ten week continues, and tonight we're talking the Ohio State men. As you heard, Chris Marshall very high on the Buckeyes, looking to recapture the form of 2017 when they made championship weekend for the first time ever. Last year going 8-4 overall, just 1-4 in conference play. They started 7-0, moving to the top 10 nationally. Seeing that hot start end, though, with losses to Rutgers and Penn State. Their only conference win came against Johns Hopkins. That was at Homewood. I spoke with Nick Myers last month about this year's team.
You know, I think it's a hungry group. I think that's the best way to describe them. You know, these seniors are a special group. These are guys that know what it's like to step on the field Monday, right? The last day of the season. These guys were freshmen in that run. You know, we've been on that bubble, if you will, these last 2 years of the tournament. We've intensified the schedule. We've had some new teams that we're excited about. But I think most importantly, to answer your question of the fall, it's been investing in these seniors, you know, bringing in a freshman class we're excited about, building this team's identity, and been really pleased with the way the men have taken ownership over the group.
Jackson Reed, one of the reasons for all that optimism, tied for the team lead with 37 points during his sophomore year. The Culver Academy alum scored the game winner against Johns Hopkins. Big goal. Notched 29 goals total. Jack Myers was the one who tied Reed in points with 37 last season, leading the team in assists with 20. That's the most assists by a Buckeye since 2010. His 3.36 points per game, the second most among Big Ten freshmen. They've got experience on the back end, too. Returning senior captain Jeff Kenrick at close defense. He had 17 ground balls, 7 caused turnovers last year. Josh Kirsten, a redshirt junior, returning to the cage after his first full season as the starter, stopping 50% of the shots he faced, third in the Big Ten in goals against average at 10.56. Face-off man, Justin Inacio was the Big Ten's co-specialist of the year in 2019. The sophomore leading the conference in face-off win percentage at .637. That was 9th nationally. He was also the Big Ten Freshman of the Year a couple of years ago. Tre Leclaire led the Buckeyes in goals in 2019, scoring 34. The senior attackman, a 3-time USILA All-American, finishing 3rd in the conference in goals per game at 3.09. We now send it over to Davey Emala to break him down.
Tre Leclaire has made a huge impact at Ohio State ever since he walked onto campus as a freshman. This spring is going to look to be absolutely no different as the big shooting righty looks to lead the Buckeyes into their season. Let's take a look at what Tre Leclaire does so well on the offensive end to get his hands free and create his own shots. One thing I want to point out before we even start this clip, because we have another great angle on it coming forward, all right? But just to see the tail end of this clip, some things I want us to be thinking about are sweeping across the top of the key here. Very difficult to get a lot of momentum onto shots. Very difficult, especially, too, because you have a lot of defensemen waiting to slide right into your face. But Tre Leclaire, again, uses his size, speed, and athleticism to avoid any defenders and get off a rocket of a shot through our goalie's 5-hole here, which is just incredibly difficult to do. I can't stress that enough. As I mentioned, we have another great angle coming up here for it again. All right, first and foremost, we have a defender all over him. That's not just a short stick defender, right? That's a long pole defender who has been keyed with trying to stop Tre Leclaire in this game, and he's still able to get over the top. Just a little two-man game action I like to see. Make this defenseman look a little bit of where he's going. Just gives that one step that Tre needed to get topside. All right, and again, as we continue this clip, just understand all your momentum and all your weight going one way. So hard to bring that ball back across your body, but Tre Leclaire does that effortlessly. That is talking big about his strength and ability there on the run. As we get into it here, all right, so I like this. Another two-man game. As we'll get into it here, we'll see Tre Leclaire just dipped inside for a little bit. All right, again, we mentioned this on the last clip. Just any sort of movement here now to get in your player's path. That's going to make this defender here, all right, have to look where he's going. That also makes this defender have to sag back and be responsible if his teammate gets picked off, all right? So that little bit of action there is going to create just a little bit enough room here for Tre Leclaire to get off these picks and able to get this shot off. Again, we just talked about it. Has an absolute hammer from the outside. Let's watch this one more time in real speed here. And also I want us to notice, too, he's really does a great job of Leclaire is as he catches this ball, I know it's a little difficult to see, everything is set. His feet are set, his hands are set. All he has to do is just bring everything forward and get this shot off. And as we mentioned, it's an absolute hammer from the outside. Really difficult for any goalie to see that, especially when it's coming off of a two-man game and he's able just to cast that ball, let it go with a little bit of time and room and space. That is Tre Leclaire's bread and butter there. Defenders are going to win him not to do that all spring long. as we get into our final clip here. What I really like about this one is just showing you his range and his hammer from the outside. Tre Leclaire on the man up here, on the power, right? Again, nothing too fancy here, all right, but does a great job of understanding where he is on the field and that his defender had to slide off of rotation. What that means is we have more defenders rotating to your face, but again, the size and strength of Tre Leclaire, that does not matter one bit. He's catching this ball and looking at where he wants to shoot, sees the goalie sort of crouching low, does a great job of extending his arms, keeping them long, and absolutely pinging that top right corner. Really impressive shot here from Tre Leclaire as we get to see it one more time. Boom. All right, and that is what Ohio State is going to see from him all season long. Bringing that hammer and making defenders really respect him. That's going to open up everything else for that offense.